Did you guys see the last Fast and Furious movie?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
What that had the strangest CPR. Like, it acknowledged the trope that okay, CPR almost always brings people back, but then he came back to life, or he was faking dead. Maybe
It was
like,
truly amazing because a man performed CPR on Vin Diesel, who won this battle with Jason Statham by stomping
Doing
on the
a
ground
Koopa stomp?
to force the world to quake beneath him. And I think it was
checks
like,
out.
in a battle of street fight, the street always wins. That might be a direct quote.
The street always wins.
I think
And
so.
then he stomped on the street, and then the street won.
I heard it was the last Airbender shout out.
And then he was like dead. He was unconscious for, according to Soren, an amount of time that would kill his brain,
Yeah,
and
he's
they could
dead.
fill up
Yeah,
with
but it's
blood.
Vin Diesel. You don't notice if he loses some
And
hemispheres.
and then a man with medical training comes up and is like, I've got medical training, and does CPR on him for a while. And then Michelle Rodriguez is like, get out of here with your fancy medical training. I'm just going to tell him a story. And she tells him a story, and then Vin Diesel is like, I thought you'd never ask, or whatever, some other thing.
It's about time.
he hasn't
that
breathed
is like,
for 3 minutes.
He has not taken
Yeah.
a breath for a very long time, and she's like, I think we should take a trip together. And he's like, how about Hawaii? Whatever he says, that it's clear that he was holding his breath for 14 minutes until someone gave him a natural segue that he wanted.
Well, that movie in particular also hits one of the best examples I've ever seen of a trope that kills me, which is that car accidents are just awful, you guys. Like, they
True.
injure and tweak your musculoskeletal system so easily in such a way that is at the very, like, pain in the ass for a year while you work it out. Like, everyone I've known who's been from a minor to a major car accident, other than, a fender bender, there are repercussions that are pretty serious. Every movie character can get in a fairly serious accident and walk away.
Let's throw up.
And my favorite one in Furious 7 is, like, the first time I think Vin is against whoever turns out being the big villain. They just play chicken and crash and get out and walk away. And you're like, who won that? What is going on? But what I love
God,
is
that's
imagining the
amazing.
screenwriter who's like, okay, well, what these two tough guys do? Well, it's a car movie, of course. They're not, they're going to go balls out. They're going to play chicken. All right, I'm writing. Oh, this is good. All right, they're revving at each other. Oh, they're closer. What could they do? What if they just hit? Okay, oh, well, now they're dead. What if they just live? Like, there's nothing clever. It's not a good action sequence. It does nothing.
I disagree. That's one of the most phenomenal things I've ever seen where, and you're giving the screenwriter too much credit by assuming that he's on cocaine while he's writing this. The screenwriter, whom I know, he's a 9-year-old boy I babysit for sometimes, and that was just Jason Statham and Vin Diesel face off in cars, and they rev their engines a bunch by, and this is true, like gripping their steering wheels more, and then the engine revs impossibly. And then they drive directly into each other. And then they both get out of the car, and mutual respect is like, you're pretty good at driving into me. I was gonna say the same.
You happened to survive. I see you did as well. I suppose the movie will continue then.
They ruined all the sacredness of the game of chicken, though. Chicken doesn't mean anything when everybody gets out of the cars at the end and is like, oh, you didn't turn away. Oh, you didn't either. And we're both now talking about this because we're walking and standing
It's
and everything
kind
is
of an
fine.
awkward ending to a game of chicken, yeah.
Which is an important point in this podcast about Furious 7 that we've apparently stumbled into.
Well, you'd think that a movie dedicated to the memory of someone who passed away in a car accident wouldn't imply that, like, surviving a car accident is just a matter of like willpower. Just like if you're really tough, you survive the harshest.
I did not put that together. No.
The whole thing is like you can survive anything with willpower. Like he has a broken arm. The Rock has a broken arm. His cast is his arm's in a cast, and then he's like, well, this is inconvenient now, and flexes out of it. And you didn't see it?
So you think the makers of Furious 7
think-
were like, Paul, what a whip, huh? Did you guys hear? And like built the movie around.
I think
The
it's like
idea that he lacked
Christian
will.
Science. They like think that all injuries and death is just like human fear or like weakness or something.
I hate how much this argument holds up.
And I would love to
Like,
find
I-
out that it's secretly a bunch of Christian scientists writing Fast and Furious. And this is where they've been leading.
It really does work, and there have been like 2 movies in the last 15 years of my life that have made me tear up, and the end of Fast 7 was one of them, because it was a really touching tribute to Paul Walker. But you're right, a whole lot of that movie has been like Vin Diesel and woman in car were in peril, and they're surrounded by other cars, and
the clever
everyone's
thing
like,
they do.
Vin, how are you gonna get out of this one? Trust me. And he just like drives off a cliff. Do you trust me? And it works. Like he falls off a cliff and like lands, and they get out of the car, and she's like, "That's why you're the best."
It's one way down a mountain.
At least like go into water, like they land in water.
Well, that's
No,
it's just
it's
tragic.
like the
Come
ground.
on.
He drives off a cliff and like fucking hits a bunch of trees in the ground, and like standard stuff that you would assume would happen if a person falls off a cliff. Except at the end he gets out and they're like, "You truly are the fastest and most furious." Those trees didn't have will. We broke the trees, but we're
Don't talk
fine.
to me. I'm sprinting away.
Which is what I love, because I actually, 7 was the first one I saw. I have not seen any of the previous ones.
Does it hold
And-
up?
No, I was in the theater, and at one point, I leaned over to the people I was with, and I was like, so are there Navy SEALs, or what's that? And they're like, shut up. No, they're just kids from the neighborhood who are good at drifting. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
No, can I
Like,
can
why
I
are-
tell you something
what's going on?
Can I tell
then?
you something that would blow your mind? They used to steal DVD players.
DVD players and digital cameras alone are worth $1 million too, which brings the grand total to $6 million plus.
We're in the political crosshairs now, Brian.
How they started was like, we're the best DVD player stealers in the planet.